10:36 at September 16th, 2022. I can't get up. So I figured let's play with some cards. It's not really picking up any kind of specific zodiac sign or anything. So let's just see if there's anything you guys need to know. Just a general whatever. Hey Diana, how are you? No, you don't. Whatever you're going through is going to be fine soon. That devil card popped out right as he said that. So don't worry about it. There's a change in that devil card are broken. So let's see what everybody that's watching the video that isn't a matrix of douchebag. Let's see what you guys need to know today. Very basic, just for today. Whatever's the most important thing going on in the collective of you guys. And we'll go from there. The Ten of Swords. Okay, so the worst is over. Whatever you're worried about, all of you watching this, if there's something that's been bothering you, it's over. Maybe in the next 10 hours or 10 days, it'll be completely resolved. In a obvious win-win situation. There's going to need to be a compromise made where one person listens and the other person speaks without judgment. And then good stuff happens. But the worst is over and you're moving away from bad stuff. Ten of Swords and the Chariot. And look at what the Chariot card looks like. Darling, I wouldn't be talking about all that stuff in the group chat because you don't want other people's energy to be affecting your personal business. If you need a personal reading, email me. It's okay. Don't worry about taking a while to type. I just don't want people to be judging your energy and your story and sending extra negativity to you. So if you need look at this puppy paw. So if you need like a private reading, just email me. We'll work something out. Whatever you guys have been going through that's been really, really traumatic. Like some of you went through something that really, really fucking hurt. That's been recent in the recent 10 months. Maybe it's been something in the 10 months that's been going on for 10 years, or like 10 days or 10 people. But please have trust that the universe and God have seen what's going on and that your help is on the way. So wherever you are and whatever you're going through, help is on the way. You see how she's sitting, like there's blood right there, there's a skull. It's almost like she just got finished fighting a whole battle. But before she even gets up to go to any ace, the Chariot's there to pick her up. So it's as if, you know, in those movies where like the superheroes are fighting with the villains and then they're having their battle and the battle is over. You know, the heroes won, but they're exhausted, they're fainted, they're like on the floor, and then the police show up. I feel like that's what some of you guys have been through. Like you just went through this huge battle and you're just kind of sitting there trying to catch your breath. And let me tell you, Spirit is telling you guys, like just be okay for a minute. Help is on the way. There's nothing you need to do other than be okay. Pull those swords out, take the armor off, clean your apartment maybe, clean your house, or go for a walk, maybe take a bath, take care of some kids. If you have siblings, work together with your siblings, maybe go on a coffee date. Just do something to change your mood, because help is right there. You're just not seeing it. You guys aren't seeing it clearly because you're still on the floor with that blood. But as soon as you get up and take that armor off, the help can find you. Energetically, it's kind of like I don't know if you guys know how to follow energy back, but there's an energetic imprint to things. And if you're thinking of like your partner or someone and you're hurt, then what they're feeling is the hurt you feel when you think of them. So the help that you're looking for is trying to find you, but they're looking for that, not that. It's also similar to a fingerprint imprint, but your fingerprint is covered in that. So your advice is, let me get a different card, different deck, just to reiterate the advice. Because what I'm being asked to tell you is take a break, relax, take a nice hot bath, just have that moment of, I don't know what the word in English is. I think it's catharsis, where you just kind of have a release. You see how she's hugging the emotions, the cup, the peace, the love, but she's outside. The cup isn't being given to her. She found the cup in herself. And she's being cleaned by that love. So whatever you're going through, kind of see, the advice is in the problem. It's kind of like someone walking over hot coals and then they suddenly stop and they're like, oh my God, it burns. And everyone's like, well, why don't you move out of the hot coals? And the person's like, because my feet are burning. I can't move. And they're like, well, if you move over there, there's cold water. Just step out of it. And the person's like, oh no, I'm suffering. I can't move. But it's right there. I mean, there's not even a transition point between these two cards. It's immediately one after another. The worst happened. The police cars are there. The ambulance or the your chauffeur. They're right there. But something has. It's like How do I word this? What the hell is that word in English? It's kind of like purposefully staying in the blood or in the dirt or in the mud, waiting for someone to come to literally pick you up by the hand. But what the person that's there waiting to help you and give you that help is waiting for is for you to just get up from that spot and clean yourself off. Because they can't get near you to give you that help because the energetic imprint is off. They're trying to help you in this direction, but all the requests you're making are going in that direction. But if you go to the direction your spirit guides and God are nudging you to, then all of that gets answered at once. You see how this card is looking away, but help is right there. And then when it's trying to be avoided energetically, kind of like, oh well, maybe it's this, and someone's calling out for help, and they're waiting for escape, a knight in shining armor. But then this card is pointing right back to this. It's like, nope, the help is right there. The person that's suffering, the light, the altruism, the self-sacrifice energy, like that energy needs to not express itself in that way. So if you're feeling victimized and you're waiting for compassion, don't. Instead, listen to what's going on around you and speak your truth. If you're speaking your truth too much, don't do that. Instead, listen, feel. If you're doing that too much, then speak more. But if you're speaking too much, don't do that. Do something else. So, this energy, It's not working because it's done. The Ten of Swords shows up when it says something's done. So some of you are at this, but some of you are still at this, waiting for this to come and get you and pick you up. It's almost as if someone has done a verbal jinx on some of you that has you missing the obvious in front of you. I'm getting the same vibe as last night from that video that's been blocked of someone being really, they're actually this, but they're stuck behaving in this. You know, this is the polite way to put it. It's kind of like a mom acting like a daughter to her daughters, or a magical practitioner using dark magic to make themselves feel better. And your advice is you're the empress. Male or female is irrelevant. Your genitalia is irrelevant. You carry the energy of the empress. This is all queens in one, including the high priestess and the magician. But limiting yourself to that only brings that. So you might be this character who thinks they're getting away, or you might be one of these two who have been betrayed, but Spirit was telling you about it all this time. So that betrayal happened to get you to recognize the voice of Spirit within you instead of the manipulation of those around you. Because some of you have this divine feminine in you too, male and females, but you don't do anything with it. I mean, some of you men, like, macho men who are, oh, big dick daddy, you guys are afraid of fucking nail polish. And some of you women are so afraid to be masculine that you would rather suffer than get off your, tear-soaked butts and floors and clean yourselves off and, take action to help yourself. Be the fucking warrior queen. There's such a stigma among mankind in this current society that women are supposed to be the damsels that are rescued by the kings. Hey, Radha. Not right now. I'm doing a general reading, but if you have something that needs help, the info is in the description box, and you can email me for a private reading or a private energy healing session, whatever. I can pretty much do it all. This whole thing with men and women aren't the damsel in distress. You guys, the ones with a womb, can create life. You create the men. And the women who don't have the womb, you have the balance of masculine and feminine physically as well as emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So waiting for someone during situations of trauma is wasting your life. I mean, let's just cut to the point, shall we? It's wasting your life. Waiting in a state of suffering for someone to see that suffering to help you is causing yourself more suffering because you're still suffering in that state while waiting for others to see that you're suffering. You get what I mean? So if you really care about yourself, if you really consider yourself an emperor or an empress, you're not going to allow yourself to needlessly suffer, which means those of you in the Ten of Swords, and I'm going to say this to you very lovingly, dust yourself off and try again. Get up. Do better. You made those mistakes. You were betrayed by those people. They blah, 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 blah. We've all been there in one way or another to varying degrees of intensity and all this shit. We've all been there. And some of us are still going through it. But Feeling that continuously for more than 16 seconds a day creates a law of attraction vibratory resonance within you that perpetually creates this energy. Because you're an energetic being, you're supposed to release that energy out of you. You're supposed to feel it and release it. You're flowing. But if you're staying in that victim state, you're only hurting yourself. You know how some people do, they like suffer to show other people, oh, look what you did to me. You made me, you made me suffer. Ugh. But what they're doing is destroying themselves in the meanwhile, trying to, paint someone else as a villain. But the entire time they're being the villain to their own body. An empress, a divine being, doesn't do that. There's something backwards about what people consider to be feminine. They think weakness and anger and manipulation and being the yes daddy kind of you know subservient kind of thing. That's not the sexy kind of yes daddy, but subservience to man, to a man with a penis, because the woman is so weak and fragile and little, and if we're broke or if we're left by men, then it's we got to do it all on our own and repaint those paintings and redo it all. Like, no, no, they can have the ruins of the past. You don't have to take that pain with you. Some of you, when I say that you don't have to take that pain with you, some of you probably feel like, well, what am I supposed to do with it? Just let it go? And then you feel a sense of injustice. Like, all that pain I carried for all this time, what do you want me to do? Just feel better? You want to know why? No one can make you feel better. No one can take that pain from you. That pain is your gift. So if you're sitting there going, I'm so broken, what's anybody supposed to do to show you you're not broken? You're never not broken. You're always broken. Why be a victim over it? Be broken. Be broken. Who cares? You're broke financially? Who cares? You have a roof over your head, right? You got food in the fridge? You can take a shower? You got a bed? Okay. You got your appendages? Cool. You got all your teeth? More than I do. You know? Like, reality check, you guys. I don't need to be the Queen of Swords or the King of Swords to be like, oh, I'm so mean and blunt and I gotta be like super mean to you. No. And I don't need to be harsh or cold. If you're in front of me and you're crying, and it's like 5 minutes of you crying and telling me about your problems, and like 10 minutes of me giving you advice, and then 30 minutes of me explaining that advice, and then you go back to explaining, but oh, this, it's kind of going to make me go, well, why do you keep feeling that? Didn't we just talk about this? Didn't we already go over this? And it's usually the same people who are carrying that vibration of, oh, Celeste repeats herself. Oh, Diana, email me, okay? Those prices are just, there's something. There's something, and there's a reason why they're there and why they're at that price. Just email me, okay? You remember bartering? Remember trading? Remember friendships and like good deeds and genuine kind people? Just email me. Like, no, no, you're fine. Just like, I'm not like the rest, okay? I'm not. I might play in the same game, but no, we need to talk about this. Your advice being, woman, work on your spirituality, work on your temple. That's the advice. Feminine energy needs to work on your temple. Whether you're a masculine body or feminine is irrelevant. You gotta like work on your temple, which means working on your body. And what does that mean? Get out of the blood and do your things, you know? And I know it's an injustice because they say, oh, heal or heal thyself. Well, bitch, I didn't break me. Why should I have to heal me? But you kind of do. I mean, your body's going to heal itself after a paper cut, right? Are you thanking your body for doing that? Not really. So when you're in this energy, who's feeling compassion for your body? If it's not your consciousness, which is creating the body, your spirit, your soul, and you think your soul wants you to suffer? I can guarantee you your soul wants you to be feeling this 99.9% of the time. And only once in your life they want you to feel this. But usually people have to feel that over and over and over and over until they realize this is more important. This is what life's about. This. This. Not sitting in this and waiting for Prince Charming. Not sitting in this and feeling like you're not a goddess or a god yourself. You are a child of God. You don't need me to help you. You need me to bonk you over the head so you can, realize you're part of life. You have a birthright. You have your own followers. You have your own kings and queens. You have your own kingdoms. How am I supposed to look at another child of God and be like, hey, can you not hurt yourself? I mean, you're a God in there, right? Why are you still doing that? And then this person, this energy is like, oh, because this happened with this sword, and this happened with that sword. Hey, Terry. And this happened with that sword, and that happened with that sword, and that happened with that sword. And then your advice is this. But what you guys energetically are saying is, and that happened with that sword, and that happened with that sword, and that happened with that sword. And Spirit is like, oh, bitch, you're fine. You're not bleeding. There's butterflies around you. You're clean as fuck, even though you're on the floor with blood. There's a skull from somebody you just defeated and had victory over. Thank God. There's a shield you didn't even use. None of these swords have blood on them. The walls aren't stained. You still have tapestries. And you still have a fucking stone castle that you're in, pretending to be a damsel in distress. Boo-hoo. Look at what your advice is. What am I supposed to say to that? This is the problem. This is the advice. Think about it for a minute. Empress, work on your temple. The problem isn't with your soul. It's not with God punishing you or people abusing you. Those people did all that stuff so that you can listen to the voice of God inside you. Not the voice of God that speaks to me, to you, but the voice you hear yourself when you're quiet and you listen. Because all these wands are being sent to you every second you're breathing. But it's up to you which ones you focus on, if any. You can grow old, brown hair, white hair, and still be sitting there crying over these. Or you can go explore the world and let your grief wash over you and wash through the world every step you take. Yep, I cried there, I cried there, I cried there, I cried there. I knocked those over, fuck that cup in particular. Cried there, cried there, cried there, fucked your brains out over there, got pregnant 47 times over there, lost like 100,000 grandbabies over there, lost a kingdom over there. That used to be land. There used to be a husband right there. And now this person is all on their own, withering away. Hoo hoo, so sad. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? The escape, the chariot, is still right there. But that energy still doesn't want to let go. Whether it's swords, wands, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, different fates, different realities, God, the devil, the goddess, Egyptian mythology, Pleiadians, channelings, astrology, zodiacs, card readings, energy healers, different jobs, different foods, different diets, different countries, different everything. But the problem still is some of you don't fucking love yourselves. Look at that. Even with all those 10 swords gone, you still carry the memory of all those 10 swords. And people think, oh no, I'm not whole as long as I carry that. I've been staying with a little drop of blood on my little baby teddy bear. And no matter how much you wash it, it'll never go away. It won't. Ever. It'll never go away. But you can melt all that pain down into one sword and call it your truth and go live your fucking life. It's up to you. I couldn't fucking make this up if I tried. This is all God talking to us. I'm just the open conduit. And you know how I'm an open conduit to God? Because I went through this every day through this until I'm cellularly clean. So that when God comes in and talks, I'm not talking like this or feeling like this and unable to help you do this. Because I had to go through all this and then remember my past lives and then come in like this to tell you you're this. You're all this. Or are you going to stay in this? It's up to you. You guys don't need a private reading from me. You know exactly how you guys locked yourself out of your own happiness. And look at how I'm holding this deck, and this card wants to show. What would you guys do if this happened to you today? If right now, we close this video and you go and experience this. You get a phone call or a knock on the door and it's the love of your life. Are you going to go back to playing that, oh, it's so sad, oh my God, it's all so bad, but you're alive to complain about it? Did you die though? Or are you wise enough now to know and recognize wisdom and love? Are you wiser now to recognize how to accept love and give love without being broken when it's taken away? Are you wise enough now to know that when you're feeling this, you have the choice to feel this instead? Are you compassionate enough to see someone going through this and immediately fire help in their direction instead of distracting yourself with this? You see how the energy goes to 180? Keep up. Are you this? Are you this? Or are you this? You can be any one of these right now. What do you want to do? Right now, you're let's say you're sitting in front of God, right? And God's like, okay, so you're in the Ten of Swords. You're feeling Three of Swords. You want the Chariot to, and then Epiphany as to why it's all happening, yada yada, etc., etc. Here's the Three of Wands again, and look at these two that flip right out. Did you see that? I mean, maybe I should fucking go play poker. Jesus. Look. Again, another deck with the Empress. And here's another deck with the Ace of Pentacles, another offer to get you out of the Five of Pentacles in another deck. There is help right there for you everywhere. If you can be this, why would you choose to be the Ten of Swords? You wouldn't, right? Somebody did it to you. Okay, but you also played a part. Did you ever look back to acknowledge that? You played a part in all your suffering. We all did. We all played a part in each other's suffering. Every turn of the wheel, we played a part. All of us. This is the Death card. This is the Devil card. The chains are broken. Even the devil isn't punishing you guys. Death and the Devil with the Wheel of Fortune, that is textbook. You're free. Your suffering is now because of your own mind. What you decided to build and what you decided to walk away from that destroys you on the inside. Let's pull out another deck. What's your advice? Other than acknowledging your emotions, being quiet, and connecting to God, what's your advice right now? Yes, I saw it flip. We will get it as soon as another one flips. Oh my God. Everything's fine. Three of Swords in reverse, there's nothing to heal. What you're feeling is healing pains. The Chariot, again. Six of Pentacles, again. The Sun card, again. Three different decks, each one giving the same exact advice. Let yourself be helped. Astrologically, like zodiac placements, I don't know who's going through what, how this is playing out individually, but there's definitely a Cancer sign involved. There's definitely a Leo, a Pisces, a Cancer, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, a Libra, I feel like Gemini, Sagittarius, and Aries are like off in the distance on this one. They're kind of like, we don't know what's going on. Or the Sagittarius in your life is helping a Cancer sign in your life come to a decision regarding a Leo or a Pisces in their life to support them through a connected Virgo or Taurus. I can look at this in a lot of different ways, and I can sit here breaking this down for you 1,000 different ways. But bottom line is your advice, accept the help that's being offered. If help isn't being offered, it's because they can't get to you because your energy is not matching your own energy. Think of it this way. You know how okay, let's say you're listening to Natalie Merchant. You're listening to Natalie Merchant, okay? There's music you're hearing, it's Natalie Merchant. You're in a vibe, you're feeling Natalie Merchant vibes. And then somebody walks into the room playing Insane Clown Posse. And you're like, what the fuck? It's a different energy, right? But the person that played Insane Clown Posse is dating the person who's listening to Natalie Merchant. And they're in the same house, sitting next to each other with their cell phones. Now, there's a gift coming in, a mailman knocking on the door saying, hey, this gift is for the person that usually listens to Natalie Merchant, but they're not here, right? Because all we hear is Insane Clown Posse. And they're actually talking to the one that listens to the Natalie Merchant. That's this energy. You see why it's kind of hard for me to pin it down for you? Because someone's wearing something else's energy, and a blessing is coming to them, but Spirit is trying to break that shell off, and the ones it's trying to break are like, oh no, we're victimized. But you're not victimized. You're being washed clean of all the bullshit that isn't yours. I mean, you think I'm looking at my teeth and I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna have my front teeth again? Like, no. Do you think when they broke, I was like, oh fuck? Yeah. But you think I was all in despair? You know what I thought? Oh, you're making this easier. Because there's supposed to be a procedure done anyway in a few months. And God's just making it easier. Now, after speaking to a dentist, the next procedure I go to, or the one I'm going to go to, is going to be done in like an hour. Barely even that. But before, when I had those, they had to do a surgery to remove them. And God's like, let me help. I'm like, okay. Okay. It's also like someone saying that their back hurts, but they're never doing leg stretches. Or someone saying they have intestinal issues and they're constantly eating meat. Someone who has financial issues, who's constantly wasting money on things to make them feel good because they're depressed. Someone who's depressed, who knows exactly what to do but doesn't do it because they're depressed. And they're like, oh, it's so difficult. Well, that's the point. You're going to need to reach for a remote, right? If you're changing the TV channel. If your arm's broken and you're reaching for the remote, even if you're reaching with your other hand, the broken one's going to kind of hurt. Are you not going to reach for anything? It's you guys gotta give yourselves a reality check. Do you know how much I've been wronged in my entire life? A lot. Do you know how many people have apologized? Zero. Zero. Do you know how long it took me to realize no one even owes me an apology because nobody thinks they did anything wrong? 40 years. It took me nearly 30 years to accept this. I knew this when I was 9. They don't really care. They know what they're doing. I couldn't accept it for 30 fucking years. So what I'm telling you is giving you a 30-year jump start or a head start. Get the fuck over it. You know that feeling of being victimized and feeling like you need the world to know how much you suffered? I showed you that, didn't I? Did it do any good? Didn't, did it? So why would you be doing that daily in microdoses for yourselves? Have you learned nothing? If you were seeing your child go through what you're looking for help for on tarot channels instead of going to God, if you saw your child or your best friend or your sibling go through what you're going through, would you continue to offer them support if they were going through it for 6 months? 13 months. 6 more months from now. A year and a half from now. Do you still want to have this problem? Let's say 6 more years. What's the solution? First, you gotta pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. You gotta reach your hand out for help. If your hand keeps getting slapped away, no one's punishing you, right? It's all God doing it in one way or another, even if it's God doing it through evil people. It's still the energy of God. Even if there's the devil and God fighting each other, Source made both of them. So it's Source playing God and the devil, and God is playing you and me and the devil. So if all this is going on, and you stop, excuse the bluntness, being a child about it, and you look at it objectively with a very logical mind, with a very Virgo divine feminine mind, the true divine feminine mind. You look at it with that analytical, motherly, compassionate energy. Everything you're going through, the first thing you'd want to do is probably slap somebody. How dare you allow yourself to suffer for this long? What the hell? Second, get up, go clean yourself off, eat something, drink something, go sit in the grass, stop eating dead flesh for just a little bit. Stop avoiding your problems with alcohol and drugs for just a little bit. And if you're going to smoke marijuana, which is a sacred plant, not a drug, then meditate for at least 10 minutes after smoking, 10 minutes before smoking, then smoke. If you're going to drink wine, bless the wine, then drink it. Do not just open the bottle and chug it because you're sad, because the entity is making you do that. Start practicing your spirituality. Light some fucking candles. Clean your house with sage. Vacuum your house. Throw away shit you don't need. Why is it still in your house if every time you look at it, it reminds you of an ex? Ew. You think that ex is keeping your shit in his view or her view while they're fucking someone else? You think you even exist in their stories? Come on. You think they're sitting there being like, yeah, I totally fucked over my ex. And like, they were so cool. And like, I so miss them. No, they're not doing that. They're off sucking dick or vagina. That's what they're doing. They're off doing something. A man can have sex within 10 seconds in a fucking closet-sized space. They can sit there fucking masturbating and you wouldn't even know it under a fucking, massive dinner table. Like you guys have no idea how perverted men are. And then some women egg them on. So you guys are waiting for these Prince Charmings, but you're on the vibrational scale of abusive narcissistic people. So it makes no sense that anybody would be able to find you to help you unless they come down to your level. And when they do, they gotta look like this. Not like glowing fucking angels and goddesses in Greek Roman wear. That's a higher vibration of life. You guys are on this vibration. You're no different than me. We're on the same vibration. Hence why I'm in your reality and not in Donald Trump's. You know? So check yourselves. Because it's really getting exhausting being the voice of common sense for not just like an LGBTQ community or transgender people or hermaphrodites or Amazons or Gnostic things or any of that stuff, but just in general. Like, you guys are like my neighbors, my friends and family. What am I supposed to say to you when you're sitting there in the Ten of Swords? What do you need? A paycheck? A garden? Someone to listen to your pain? What do you need? A good meal? Have you been drinking enough water? Because when your body's dehydrated, it doesn't tell you. It starts giving you symptoms. And some of you guys think you're sick, but you're just dehydrated. That's all it is. You guys are going through all this trauma, and you're like, oh, that's so terrible. Yes, so sad. What are you doing about it? Oh, I've done everything. But let the feeling go. Why would you hold on to that negative emotion? How am I supposed to get you to let go of a blade you're holding and you're clutching onto it? You're like, this blade hurt me. And I'm like, well, you're the only one hurting yourself with that blade in your hand now. The negative things you say about yourself, the negative things you think about yourself, the way you treat people around you because you're hurt, the way you avoid people because you're hurt, the way your mind analyzes things because you're hurt. It's like seeing things in a filter. You think this is what I really look like? This is what you see me as. This is what I am to you. What are you to yourself? A victim needing a savior? You had that 2,000 years ago. What good did it do? What do you need now? Another one? What is another sacrifice going to do for you? Trigger compassion, right? You're like, oh, we should have done something. We should have listened. We should have paid attention. And then you're going to go watch all the videos. You're going to go reread all the books. You're going to go be pious and noble and altruistic and kind. You're going to create utopian societies. But what does it take? The removal of the thing that meant to help you. And what is that thing saying? Oh, hey, you guys are suffering pointlessly. You want wisdom? That's not the way to get it. The way to get wisdom is you experience the suffering, you detach, you look at it, and you go, oh, okay, now let me process it. It's called detachment, discernment, transmutation. We tried to teach this to you 2,000 years ago. You asked Jesus, aka Isis, to turn me into a man to fit into your world better, so that I can explain this to you 2,000 years later. And you thought he said, what, he's going to give me a penis? He turned me into man, dummy. Just like when he came in into man. He became man. God became man. He did that to Mary. Now it's 2,000 years later. Sitting in front of you. Are you guys still holding that sword? And you're wondering why you're suffering and you're, broken and whatever. I mean, I can feel all my exes still, no matter how much I remove the cords, because they keep sending the cords back, and I'm like, doot, 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 damn it, get off me. And they're like, doot, 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 doot. And every time, do you know what I feel? Oh, I wish I could talk to that person again. Oh, I wish I could talk to that person again. Am I fucking with your mind? Oh, whoa, that was weird. How did she do that? Oh my God. If I'm telling you, you're in a victim state because you're holding on to victim energy, what part of that needs to be looked at deeper? If I give you an analogy that you're holding onto a sword that's cutting you, what is the advice in that? What does that take? Awareness, common sense, wisdom. Let it go. I mean, good God, you know how much I love that Leo? It's been 5 years. He's watching this shit right now. And like, you guys are going through the same fucking vibrations, the same energy, and you know the same problem? You guys refuse to communicate with yourselves, with God, and with each other. You'd rather go to a card reader. You'd rather watch from a distance. Then I'd rather be an empress on my throne on my own. What am I going to do? Carry you on a leash? Like, if you're constantly wounded, and whoever you are, all of you that are like, oh, everything's so sad. Oh, wow. Ooh, so much damage. Oh, wow. What are you doing about it? Not to be a bitch, but everything that I've gone through, and every day that I'm going through it, and I'm still doing it, I'm like still making videos, still helping you guys out. You know what that takes? Love and a connection to God. So can you please utilize this wisdom while it's here for you? If you're in pain, literally, you're sitting in something that hurts you. Get up. Oh, if I hold this ducky and I think about this problem, and it's like so painful. Okay, so the problem is that holding the duck is painful, right? Yeah. And like, I don't have enough of this to make this go away. Okay, but what's something you can do right now? Okay, now what can you do? Make a plan. Get some fucking professional help. Ask for advice. If you don't have enough money for the professional help, fucking talk to them like a person. Hey, can we work something out? Hey, I have this artistic talent. I can paint you something. I can give you something. Okay. I'm like, what do you need? But the answers are in you. You know this. Which is why it's frustrating for me to even be like making these videos, wasting hours of my life just doing this for shit you guys already know. It's like you know you're suffering. If you see your child suffering, you bonk them over the head and be like, quit. Why are you crying? There's a point enough for compassion. But at the same time, if it's happening more than 6 months in a row, there's something wrong. And if it's not perpetual trauma, it's the same fucking thing, and that person's not letting it go. Like, I've had perpetual trauma. I don't complain about the same shit. And when I'm complaining, people are saying I'm complaining when I'm pointing shit out. You guys don't even complain because you judge people who do. And you're like, oh, my throat chakra is so damaged. Well, are you speaking your truth? Are you expressing yourself? Are you punching the walls, keeping you contained? Are you breaking reality? Are you yelling at God? Is God talking to you and you're purposefully not listening because you're angry? What's the problem? The problem is you guys that are suffering don't want to stop suffering because it means that the person that made you suffer got away with it. I know. I know, honey. I know. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. They can do whatever they want and get away with it. Why would you keep suffering and allowing them to perpetuate that poison in you? They get away with it. The Leo got away with everything he did. The people that did terrible things to me got away with it. They lived at least 4 decades after they did what they did, and there's some of them are still alive. People harass me daily. They get away with it. At least from what it looks like from my point of view. Why would you let yourself get away with abusing yourself? With your own thoughts and emotions? And you want me to what? Empathize with your pain to feel your suffering? No. I can see it. And I can't even say I'm sorry. It won't matter. I'm not the one that did it to you. And the one that did it to you will never apologize to you. And if he ever does, he or she, it won't mean anything. Because you're going to have to accept the fact that you allowed yourself to suffer after he or she was gone. When they were off doing whatever they were doing, whoever they are, you were off crying. God didn't even help you in those moments, did he? Made you feel more victimized, didn't it? Did you get angry at all? Did you use that anger to push yourself out of that sorrow? Or did you get angry and then feel bad about feeling angry because you're such an empath that feeling anger hurts you too? A self-defeating cycle. And the only thing that can break it free is loving yourself enough to choose to stop suffering no matter how hard it is. That's true forgiveness. I refuse to allow your poison to course through me any longer. I will carve myself and drain that poison out of me if I have to while I cry and my tears cleanse the wound. But no man will ever be allowed to influence my emotions again. Ever. The fuck out of here with your dangling fucking gimpy third leg. You women, how dare you guys? How dare you act like you're subservient to men and then allow their abuse to change who you are? And then you get on your knees and you pleasure them. The same men who break your heart. And then you cry over them. And then when they stick their dicks in other holes, you feel betrayed. But you're the dummy that trusted that dummy when God was telling you all along, don't listen to that one. Listen to this one instead. And you decided to go with the energy that feels better. Not the one that's the right thing to do, even when it's not the right thing being done. Not your moral compass or your ethics. No, you decided, most of you decided to go with what physically feels good in that moment. You completely screwed up the concept of one step at a time and instant gratification to assist you like an instant Tylenol. You guys instead used sex to avoid. You used liquor to avoid. You used cigarettes to avoid. You didn't use them to heal, to be present and grounded at the lowest you can be with the poisons, the addictions, the bad behavior, to take yourself to the root and rip the root out. No, you guys got down to rock bottom and you're like, woe is me. Get up. I can't coddle you. I can't baby bottle feed you. There are thousands upon millions of bubblegum tarot card readers for you. This isn't that channel. So if you're done suffering, be done. So that when you're watching these videos, you're actually hearing the wisdom in it. I mean, if you guys go back to the videos, oldest one, and you start over with intelligence and you listen, oh my God, you guys would jump ahead fucking thousands of years in human evolution. And there are people who know this and benefit from it. And then there are others of you who watch this and you're like, I need a reading because my boyfriend cheated on me. And I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell you, whether you pay me $20 or $2,000 or $20,000. It's your fault. It boils down to you and your connection to God. Nothing else. If you can't hear God, then you don't realize when it's a mistake because you're going the wrong way, and when you're going the wrong way and making mistakes because the next decision you make is the right one. And that's a decision that had to be made. So you had to go through the bad to make the good. Girl, just Diana, honey, no. Look at all the time you spent writing that. No, don't even bother emailing me because I'm going to tell you the same shit. Stop with the fucking penis drama. Stop it. Off with his dick. Enough. I don't give a shit who thinks if he stole something, you probably did. I don't give a fuck who says what you did or what he did. I don't give a shit. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? You spent an hour here with me. What are you doing about it when this video's done? Crying over him? Again? Honey. And you want to spend money on card readers to have them give you advice? No. You guys need to stop that. It's embarrassing for your souls that your bodies are so ignorant to your souls and your God voice within you. Because if you would just listen to God within you, you'd realize that asshole that did that to you. Diana, who cares? Honey, who cares? Why do I even need to care? Who cares? Why would you give them that power over you? For you to waste your time thinking about what they're thinking about or believing. Oh my God, you care what I think about you right now? Are you going to get off this video and then think about what I thought about you in this video and beat yourself up because of how I'm talking to you now? Oh my God. So I can't even say anything to you without you thinking I'm victimizing you, right? What the fuck, babe? What man hurt you so much? And why have you let his ghost keep hurting you? Exercise that bitch out of you, man. God. Ugh. Like, you guys are either holding on to the pain because it feels good and you get off on it, or you're holding on to the pain because you're not learning the lesson from it. You refuse to. Either way, you're holding on to pain. No one can do this for your hand, bruh. No one can fucking take it out of your hand. It belongs to you. It's your energy. It's your pain. It's your gift. It's what you've done. Everything he's done to you, you've done to him in one way or another. Everything you did to him, he did back to you. 100% guaranteed that's how this universe works. You're not a victim. I wasn't a victim. I was made to feel victimized, and it sucked. But then I had to pull up my big girl panties and be like, wait a minute, nobody's here doing this to me anymore, and I'm doing it to myself. What the fuck? I'm done. The fuck? You guys always do this. You guys come into the chats, you say a bunch of stuff, you start retracting it. It's fucking ridiculous because if you were talking to me face to face, you wouldn't be able to take back what you said. But you're covering your tracks, and it's not just you, it's Rada too. You guys cover your tracks as if you never said anything. What the fuck? So it's like you're not even here to get help. You're here to steal wisdom. And then you're denying others from seeing what you were asking. Yeah, but you've done it at least 13 times? Did you have an accident? Oops, 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 oops. 13 times? And you want my help? You want me to like lower my prices for you and give you free advice and like, solve your fucking marital problems for you. For what? To take your money and to tell you this? What? Are you going to give me a thank you or a donation for doing this for you? No. So why would I be invested in your well-being? For money, right? But I'm not getting any money and I'm already invested in your well-being. And you're still not getting it, Diana, and none of you really are. I don't have you confused. You have yourself confused. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're going through, you're allowing your body to go through it. And you want me to change your mind. I'm sorry, I'm not your jester. You want to suffer? Go right ahead. You want to keep complaining about your problems and retracting your messages? Go ahead. You guys, the Leo wants to keep watching my channel and pretending and like I don't know. Go ahead. You're only making a fool of yourself. I'm sitting here and I don't give a shit about shit. What I care about is the human race getting its head out of its own ass and treating each other better. You guys can't seem to do that because you're stuck on petty bullshit. Petty bullshit. And then you guys come into this chat room and this channel and you steal all this information and make money off of it. And then you go and insult me on your own channels. And it's like, Diana, that's exactly what I've been saying. Do you want to retract that one too now? You're literally gaslighting, projecting, covering your tracks, and then you're saying, okay, I'm going to stop now. And then you do it again. You don't need to be going. You just need to fucking listen. You've taken at least 30 minutes of my time. Where's my money? I didn't tell you to do shit. I'm giving you advice. You're not taking it. If you were, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. Don't play with me. You're nothing to me. You're just a name on the screen. You're God's problem, not mine. I'm trying to help you for free, and you're stealing from me. And I'm still helping you. And you're still stealing right now in real time. You're still stealing. There's another one retracted. Go ahead, one more. There you go. Good job. Get the fuck off my channel. Dumbass. I mean, really, what a perfect fucking example of people who just don't want to be helped, but they want to be coddled. Ew. Grow up. Grow the fuck up. Oh, but he did this to me and he did that to me. Yeah, but when I told you, you said I'm complaining. Remember that? Oh, but he cheated on me and left me and he took my kids. Yeah, but when he did that to me, you didn't even give me $1 so I can go buy myself food. Oh, but he raped me and hit me and did this and that. Okay, but when this happened to me, none of you even fucking helped. When I was raped and I told you, none of you did shit. When I went to the police, they didn't even care. You guys see this channel being shadow banned. You see how much people steal from me. Yet none of you go and call out the thieves. None of you even support me financially. But you want me to coddle you. Are we on the same page? Now the next time I do a reading for you guys, and I'm giving you advice in the reading in real time, are you gonna take it? Or are you gonna start arguments and accuse me of not knowing what your problem is? An hour into it and I don't know what the fuck your problem is, Diana. Okay, wherever floats your boat. To the rest of you, did that reading show you what you needed to learn? Did these paid actors show you what you needed to learn? Did my responses show you what you needed to learn? Now, how many of you are going to continue after this video and allow negative energy in your own bodies to last for more than 10 seconds? Those of you that do not come back to this channel, because there's nothing I can tell you that would ever change your mind about being nicer to yourselves. Okay? And those of you who now get it, that you punish yourselves, mankind does it to itself. Those of you that want to learn and get better and just have fun and live life, hi, I love you. I fucking love you guys. But those of you like Diana and the people who keep retracting comments, fuck you. Cowards. Like little fucking fruit flies. And I call you out every fucking reading. And you guys are like, oh, let's go do it again. Okay, I needed to practice. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but every time you guys do this, I get more and more and more better. So thank you. Because you guys think you're pissing me off. But I'm wisdom. I learn. I can only hope the same for you guys to learn, to seek that wisdom, to seek that peace inside that you don't want to ruin by feeling a certain kind of way over someone. It's not worth it. I love that fucker. I love my parents. I still do. I love everybody. But holy shit, there has to be a boundary. If you guys aren't willing to help yourselves, there's nothing I can do to help you. And this is the last time I'm going to be addressing this on any internet channel or anything I do. The next time you guys come in here with this bullshit, I'm going to cut you off immediately. Like, done. There's an easy peasy button that says hide user from channel. You're going to have to go make a new fucking YouTube account to see this channel again. Don't fuck with me. I don't need to block you. I don't need to report you. I just need to eliminate you from the channel permanently. And do that with your problems. You're broke? I've been broke too, bro. I'm still fucking going through it. What am I doing? Eating less throughout the day, exercising more, eating healthier, drinking more water, maintaining my emotions and my mental balance, meditating more, not looking at any addictions as if they're detrimental, not looking at demons as if they're bad, not looking at angels as if they're the saviors. Let me see what's going on here. And really, what's going on is you guys like, oh, but it burns, oh, but it burns, it burns. Well, turn it off. Oh, but it burns, it burns. Okay, turn it off. But it burns, it burns. Someone turns it on and it burns. It still burns. Oh, it still burns. Oh, it's better now. I need to look these straight in the eye. What the fuck? What the fuck, you guys? What the fuck? Like, look at the facial expression. Look at the energy coursing through me of the processing capacity of some of your minds. Oh, but it hurts. Well, then stop doing it. Oh, when I suck his dick, the twat hurts. Then maybe you shouldn't be sleeping with him. Oh, he stole my shit and I'm still in love with him. Why? But please, I loved him. But please, baby Jesus. Thank you. No problem. Have a nice day. The fuck?